Is this thing on? Hello there everybody and welcome back to another Forever Stranded with me, TechnoJock here. In the city, the sun's just going down, it's a lovely evening, it's about to turn into a horrible, horrible night I'm sure, but we are having a look at some bits and bobs. Now I have done some work on the quests that I had left undone for quite some time, so as you can see we are all good as far as basic survival goes. I've done all of those, that's all good. Tinker stuff, got a couple to do. Yeah, there's a few little odds and ends I need to tidy up there. Technologically wise, we're doing reasonably well. We're all up to date here. Got to make a wireless crafting unit for AE, some Ender stuff to do, but that's all good. Haven't even really started moving worlds yet. I suppose we really should start there. And creating life, not an awful lot happening there. Ooh. Ooh, can get more of these things. I did in the quest rewards get another life, so you can see I've gone up one there. That's all good. And I was wanting to start off really because one of the things that I was asked by Chewed, who's a lad, is the dirty task, these collection tasks of various things. So I have made the object submission station, the OSS, and I have it on me. So the next quest is this dirty one where I've got to put in 1 million dirt. Obviously you can't have 1 million dirt on your person and submit it, so there's this machine to do so for you. And if you put it down, there we go. It's already set to the dirty task there, but you can cycle through things. I don't know why you would want to have these ones set for that, but certainly we can go back to the dirty one, and it is a retrieval task, and it's all set, and we can click on the tick here. Now I think we need to do that. I'm just going to check. I'm going to put this, there's a little hole in the top you can see there. I'm pretty sure that you can actually put other stuff in. Let's have a look. Can I put anything in there? No, it's not going to go in there. But if I tick on yes, there we go. You saw it went up to 2 there. So if I put in all of that dirt, it's slowly going to go and climb. The number is going to go up there. So yeah, you need to click on that little tick there to make sure it's all okay. And I suppose you could put other stuff in. Let's grab that just now. I suppose you could grab this and go like that, and it's all going to go in at once. So you could put in like stacks at a time from your inventory that way. And we've got 51 dirt that way. Cool. That's all good. Now, if I don't have, that's all the dirt I had in my system. I have got more making out at the desert base just now, but to be able to get the million, obviously I'm going to need to do something special. But what you would really want to do in this circumstance is to have yourself an export bus, and I don't think I have one here. No, I don't. But you would want an export bus coming from your AE system and going into the side here and have it fully upgraded with acceleration cards, so it's going to accelerate and put in as much as it possibly can, as quickly as it can. What I would say would be that I don't know if this stops once it gets to 1 million. It probably does, but there's a possibility if you left it running, it might not stop at just 1 million. It might carry on. I've seen that before in questing mods where it doesn't recognize the upper limit and you end up draining your entire system, and perhaps you've got like 2 million in your system. You're like, oh well, I can spare 1 million to go into here, no bother, and I'll use the other 1 million to terraform my world. Well, if you go away from a keyboard at that point, maybe it doesn't stop and it would end up wasting all of your stuff, which would be a shame. I'm not entirely concerned by that at the moment. Like I say, I don't have the dirt to be able to do that, but it is something I want to work on. What I do have is an ender tank, not an ender chest as it says, full of water. What could I possibly be wanting with that? Well, if you recall, we'd started doing some crafting of some stuff, and I've got all the pattern stuff here for doing these bits, and in particular the 64K crafting storage. Let's have a look at that. Now I've got a couple of them, but if I try and do another one just now, it's got all the bits and it can start doing it. And it's actually going to do it quite quickly. That's not the one I was wanting then. Maybe it was Come on. Crafting. And if I do maybe that. No, it's not that. There was one of them that was going to be taking a long time to do because the likes of the iron plates and the copper cables and all that sort of stuff over here take a long time to process. Back in the noisiest room in the world. Yeah, these machines are pretty slow, and if you recall, I mentioned that we might want to do something about getting them sped up. And in order to do that, we need overclocker upgrades. Let's have a look at that. So these overclocker upgrades are a circuit and cables, fine, and some 10k coolant cells. Those are made by surrounding a universal fluid cell with tin plates. And the universal fluid cell needs to have IC2 coolant in it, as I think you can see there. So it needs a bucket of coolant in there. Now, it doesn't really say an awful lot about how to get this coolant stuff because, well, it just doesn't, does it? So, yeah, there's nothing going to be in here about the coolant and how to make it, but I happen to know, through my experience, that it's made in the fluid solid canning machine, which is actually pretty easy to make. It is a circuit, a basic machine casing, and tin item casings, and if I make myself one of these, there we go, we can make a fluid solid canning machine, which we will take and we will put over into the other room. And we've got plenty of cable to be able to plumb it in with. That'll be good. Take all this over. Hopefully things are a little bit quieter over here. I could just put it here, I suppose. But I think I want to have it over a little bit. That's a bit irksome the way that wiring goes, but we will have to persevere. I think I want it here. Pop it like that, and then... So noisy. I know what I want to do. Need some more cable, that's for sure. Let's get some more of that. Oh, and I want to grab some lapis as well. And you will see why in the fullness of time, hopefully, very quickly. Now, let's come over here, and let's come out there, and then round like that, and we'll take out that cable, and then that means we can power this thing. Power, it has got power. Why is it being, are we running out of power in this section because it's low power? Shouldn't be. That is drawing a fair bit of power there, and that's going down. Oh, the reason is our solar power was out, wasn't it? How silly of me. Right, well, the sun's coming up now. That should start going up then. We're going to need to have a bigger capacitor soon enough then. Or just sleep through the night. There's a crazy notion. But we've got power now, that's fine, and we've got power here. Now what I need to do is turn this off at the moment. Don't want that. Oh, that's the wrong thing. That one can be always active. That one I want to... That's on never active anyway. I want to macerate up some of this. God, it's going to take ages. Whilst that does, I'm going to put this on top. like that, and turn it like that, so it should fill up here. Yes, it does. Cool, cool, cool. And I don't want canning, we want enrich. Fluid enrich. And that should do that. Cool. And that should, yeah. We put this in here. Maybe we should get some of those fluid cells as well. Let's get some of that on the go. And so I want universal cells. Yeah, these things. So it's glass and tin item casings. I don't have very many with tin item casings. Tin ingots though. And let's see, do we have tin plates? We do have some tin plates. Let's get some tin plates done as well. We can get them done quickly, or for a given value of quickly, because that's really the name of the game at this point, isn't it? Gosh, it's loud. And I know I keep on saying that. And to you guys it probably won't be, because I'll have remembered to turn it down in post-processing. But I really do wish there was a way of turning this down in-game. Alright, and that's going to be fine. So let's get a few of these. Let's see. How many can we make? Just the one just now. Come on, there's surely going to be... I'd like to make 3 of these if I can. There we go. Two, and one more. One more. I evidently accidentally made some tin cans at some point. There we go. Cool. Right, so we've got 3 of those. That's all good. And how much is that? We've got 8 there. Now I think it takes 8. No, hold on. Yeah. Let's put that in there. I think it's going to use 8 lapis dust and a bucket of water to make this. Yeah. Yes, it did, but it gave us a universal fluid cell filled with IC2 coolant, which is pretty much what we want. So we're waiting on some more lapis. So I think, really, our first upgrade needs to go into the macerator, because our macerator is really the thing that's slowing this up just now. And that one gives us 3, it gives us 5, so that's going to give us a little bit more. Okay, need to come back to this in just a minute, once we've got a little bit more. Right, that's the 8 final lapis dust that we need, and this will take just a moment to do here, and give us the last of our fluid cells that we need filled up. Cool. And now we should be able to make these, well, the first overclocker. So if I do, actually, let's get some of this stuff sorted out, because what I would want to do is I need to make, well, we need the recipe of that. So we want that recipe, but we'll also need the tin item casing one as well. So tin item casings, we get 2 for each plate. So we go 1 plate equals 2 tin item casings, we'll get that. And we kind of need to do 1 plate from 1 tin. That'll work as well. And that should be good for that. The glass panes. Glass panes as well, so that can go like that. Do that. How are we doing 4 bits in here? This is a very, very temporary setup. Yeah, we've run out of bits. Right, let's make the overclocker then. We'll worry about that in a moment. So we can make these. We should have sufficient to make those. We don't want to do that. So we've got those. And that. And then we need a circuit and insulated. So we need a circuit. Ooh, we're going to get 2 from this. That's good. Excellent. Right. Oh. I did not know you could do that. That's interesting. Right. Head back on over here. It'll still be doing that stack of lapis that I asked it for earlier on, because it's very slow. Let's see what happens here. Dip in power, but going significantly faster now. But increases the power 256%. So that's using a lot of power now. Don't know how we can tell how much power it's using, but significantly more than it was, that's for sure. But that's going a lot faster. And we're getting that lapis through. So we will need to do something about powering these machines up. Oh, that's not helpful. I didn't know you... Wow, just a tiny little click like that and it pops off. That's interesting. Okay. It's doing its stuff there as well. So we're getting there. We can make another few of these if we had the cells. But that would only make 2 more. I'll have done that by the time we get over there. So let's see how many overclocker upgrades we can sustain at the moment. Universal fluid cells. These have got water in them. I don't want them with water in them. But we can empty that out maybe. I think. Yes, we can. Let's just get rid of this at the moment. I should perhaps have done it in a bit more tidy manner. Let's just... And... do. There we go. Get this cleaned up and we'll get lots of these fluid cells. Really? 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 Yes, really. There we go. Right, that'll sort that out. And let's concern ourselves with getting these emptied out. So let's just do that. Yeah. Oh my god. What a noob. What a noob. Right. Quite finished being a noob. Thank you. Right, there we go. Right, so we now have lots of these. Let's go back over here. Get as much from here as we can. That'll be a decent amount now. That in there, that in there. Let's see how many we get. Alright, I made another 2, and we'll see if this can sustain that amount of power. Probably not at night, right enough, but we'll pop all this in here, and that should give us enough to make a good amount. It's going through nice and quick, and it is holding up with that, so that's good. Quite pleased. I thought I might have to go up a couple of tiers of power on this, but not at the moment. Maybe later on I'll need to. I'll give us enough for another 1 there. A few of these in there. Now I've got 2 more of the universal cells sitting in front of the coolant cells I've already got. Because it didn't make enough, didn't make a multiple of 3 when I did it the first time. So let's see what we get going with this one. That'll give us another 2. See, we've got the 2 10Ks there. So if I do that and get tin plate like that, and then we say overclocker like that. Oh, we need copper cables. Here we go. Give us another 2 of these, and I'm going to craft up a good amount of that whilst we're waiting. Yeah, and see if it can take 6 overclockers in this thing, and we'll get it going as fast as we can at the moment. Oh, that's, mind you, it's night time. Let's see if we can quickly sleep just now. And let's see if that's helped. Yeah. No, it has not. So let's take that out. And that goes back up. So 5 is the most it can handle. Good to know. Good to know. Right, so if I take all of this, put it in here, that'll work that. Let's get 5 overclockers in each of these machines, and then we'll be in a much better position. And I'm going to set up this with import buses and stuff on there. Okay, so things did go as I had feared that they might over here, and we're running out of power when we put in lots of overclockers. So if I put in, say, 3 in here, you see the power is just dropping down far too quickly. We're not getting nearly enough power in here, and I think what I need to do is get rid of this thing. And ooh, I very nearly did something very silly. This is the high energy RF converter. So that does low energy, 32 EU per tick. This one does 512 EU per tick. And that will make things explode if they don't have couple of these in there. So now input tier is increased by 2, so it should, yeah, it's running, all of these are running out of power. But what we need to do is do this. Everything's ground to a halt, and it's blessedly quiet in here now. My word, it is refreshing. And if we go along, get rid of all of this stuff in here like that, there we go. All of these things now should be able to take this, and I'm hoping things don't explode. No explosions. Power's gone up. Excellent. And that seems to be going okay. Right, let's see. Power is holding steady. Power is holding very steady. Oh yeah, that's looking good. That's looking very good, in fact. That's most overclockers I've managed in there. Wow, that's a lot of power though. But it is rattling through these things. If I can sustain that, then that's very good. Don't know if I can sustain that. But we'll have a look and see. What does this over here? How are we doing? 17 million. That's holding steady. So that can actually hang on to that amount of power. That's very good. Nighttime is going to be a different story, but I'm less concerned about that at the moment, because we can always just sleep. So I want, really, to continue doing that. Let's grab these out of here, and let's put them into here now. So that is going to do that nice and quick. And then, ooh, I need the universal cells, and I need to do that, so we're back on to that. Back onto the making things to make things go faster, so we can make things that we want to make things go faster again. Less concerned about that. So yeah, we just need to get a lot more overclockers in here. This is now set up so that this will export from here. We need the ejector and the importer upgrade for that. and we need some of the stuff put in here. Now what I'm going to need to do is we'll just grab them quickly and see about this actually. Now we need those ejector and industrial craft. Now where are the upgrades? Where are you upgrades? In the massive pile of stuff that is in here. So the ejector one, we definitely want that. Pooling upgrade, that's what we wanted. So we want one of them and the ejector one as well whilst we're at it. That's cool. And then I'm wanting a universal cell. And in fact, I just want the one at the moment. And we'll see what happens there. Let's do the tin upgrade, tin plates there, like that. Because it seems to give us the coolant cells and give us back the empty cells, which is nice. And we're going to want a bunch of you. And we should be golden. Right, let's go. We'll leave that doing its own thing at the moment. But what I want to do is this will stock one of these in here. Is it going to do that? No, it's not. It's going to have it pull in from there, but it's not going to do that. Unless, perhaps I go... Let's see. Put you there like that. Maybe, if I do that, put that on top like that, that will join, and then if I whack this, see it puts the arrow on there. If I do that, and now I can't open it. I could put it on the bottom. Right, okay. Let's try that one more time. Once more. Can't do it from that side. Can I just do it slightly from the top? There we go. Yeah, that'll work. And once more for the money. And we're going to put all these ones back in there. And it does not. It just puts it in there. Right, okay. Didn't mean to do that. I definitely want it to export that into there, but I don't want to use an export bus. Can I just put it like that? Maybe I can. I would have preferred not to do it that way. And let's... I'm sorry, I'm talking to myself here. Right, let's see what we can do about getting an export bus rather than an interface. And I don't have an export bus, okay. Let's get that. One export bus, please. Thank you. And then I need another one of those universal cells, because I put them all back in. Universal cells. Let's go up here, and gonna need to have another upgrade on this, I'm pretty sure, because that'll go there, that will go like that, and then I need to go like that, but I've only got one spot, and I want to do it for the lapis as well. That's put in, it is starting to put them in there, but I need the lapis as well. Need the lapis as well. Although, aha, I have a plan. I have a plan, right? I need one upgrade in there. And then I can do this. I know how to do this. So I need one upgrade thing. And I will show you how I'm going to get this to do it without having to have another... I want some acceleration cards. I don't have any of these. 2 lots of those. Acceleration cards, please. Okay, and I want a capacity card. That's what I wanted. Like that. And that will, the capacity card will allow me to put more things into that. And then I want to do clear that, and I want lapis here. So need 8 lapis here. So 8 lapis is going to equal, yeah, 8 lapis is going to equal one of these universal fluid cells. Because if we get 8 lapis and put it into that thing, if we set this up, so we've got capacity, those are going to go in there. I thought I had 4 of those. That's done something very weird. In any case, right, now we're going to say it's going to export any and all, there we go, lapis dust into here at any one time, which is fine. It's going to export all the fluid cells that it can as well, which is fine. I need to make sure that I've got enough fluid cells, but I should be okay in terms of that because it takes 8 lapis and only 1 fluid cell, and these things stack to 64 each. So we shouldn't run out of universal fluid cells. We'll run out of lapis dust, but not fluid cells. So that'll be okay, right? Ejector upgrade is going to eject to the bottom side. Now we don't need the pooling upgrade because this is being pushed in, but that should, yeah, that's gone and put it into here, which has already gone back into the system. Excellent. So what will happen is, if we've got our recipe, our recipe for a universal fluid cell with coolant in it here, and it says that it needs 8 lapis into here to do that. The 8 lapis is going to come in here, it's going to get macerated down and made into the lapis dust here, which is going to get pulled back into the system once I turn this back on. Always active, cool, cool, cool. That lapis dust will always be pushed out into here, which will fill up this, and using the universal fluid cells, which will always be put into this if we've got them, then it will make those coolant cells, or the cells filled with coolant, and put them in here, and they'll go back into the system. So the only thing we've really got to watch is that we are using the universal cells to make the coolant cells, which will give us our universal cells back, and they'll go back into here. Clear? Probably not, but let's have a look and see. Once we get rid of all the lapis that's in the system, in fact we can turn that off now. Once we've got rid of all the lapis and, well, the crushed lapis, or lapis dust that's in the system, which it is now done, that's empty, nothing left in there, that's all good. That will eventually all go into the system, and I need to make sure it's doing so. Lapis dust, see we've got nearly 200 lapis dust there that we've got to use up, but that's fine. The universal cells, we've got 12 of those. Let's craft up, not 100, let's do 60, which it will manage to do, hopefully. Yep. So it's going to do those. Tin plates. All good. Right. So we should manage to make these. It's still making tin plates, of course, so nope. Whilst it's doing that, then let's shift those overclockers about a little bit, because it's that that's going to be slow, not this anymore. And that's going to do all of those nicely. Yep. That's holding steady with the power. Excellent. Very pleased with this. Those tin plates, should they be going in there? Should be. I think, yeah, because it's making the universal cells, isn't it? Yeah, so it's crafting these. So that it's making the tin plates and then putting them back into the system so it can get the tin item casings. Cool. Very cool, in fact. Right. So yeah, it's still going, but now it's gone through all the tin ingots. Once it's finished this bit, it will start making the plates, and then it'll make the universal fluid cells. Everything's good there, other than it's about to run out of the universal fluid cells, and it's going to start filling up this tank, which I'm not really wanting it to do. So I'm going to take that out of there just now, so it doesn't do that again, just for the time being, because we don't want it to run out of those. And it's just going to take, it's going to take another 4 minutes to make the rest of those. Why don't I stop that from doing that? It's going to do that. That's going to give us our last one of those. Let's see how many overclockers I can make. Like that. Like that. Makes 10. And now we can upgrade things a little bit more over here. So that has run out of power. Great. Right, let me sleep. Right, we're back on track now. So we can put that. Yeah, that's going to have that in there. We'll put those and that back in there. And we can now put that into there as well. And that should be it now. So this will process up. This is all the lapis. Once it's done that, then we'll be good once it's caught up with itself. And that's us. We are good at the moment. We've got 6 in there. I'll need to make all the rest of these overclockers. Can pop them in there. Really? And that's going to do a lot quicker now. And keep us happy. Yep. And I'll make all those overclockers. Which means we're at the end of this episode. I've got lots of things on my to-do list. I'm getting lots of great suggestions. We're going to be looking into spatial storage cells at some point in the future to make pocket dimensions to hold some things in, because whilst it's good to have some rooms with some setups, it might be good to have some other dimensions to put things into. Yes, that should be pretty cool. And lots more of things to automate, like that dirt that we were talking about earlier on. Really need to get started on that if we're going to have a million dirt. A million sand would be easy enough, but a million dirt, well, we're going to need to get going on that. But until the next time, everybody, if you've got any suggestions, do leave them in the comments or give me a tweet or something. And until the next time, bye-bye and have a funs.